Hey, you know, I made a video earlier and I just burned it. I just, I don't know. I looked at it and I said, wow, this is a long ass rant about a lot of things that no one really cares about. And I just said, poof, it's gone. You know, I was talking about nationalism and stuff, and I tell you, people, at one point you just gotta wake up and smell the Nazis. There's just no way around it. But I can't help but feel that there's also something to it. Or at least what I figure it is. Because I can't put a label on it, on what I think the world should be, other than, I don't know, nationalist. You know? I mean, okay. My whole thing is basically when it comes to economics, I'm pretty much liberal. A little bit more moderate because I tend towards a kind of, more. I'm very hesitant about redistribution of wealth. You know? I mean, I'm a Republican. What do you expect? You know what I mean? All that freaking scary Keynesian stuff and freaking circle of poverty sounds too much like the circle of life or something. It's like, yeah, that sounds good, but you'll just run it to broke. And on the other side, it's like, okay, basically, I'm a right of center, slightly moderate conservative, when it comes to social issues. And being an atheist, some social issues I don't equate with social issues because they're non-religious to me. They're economic issues because it's a matter of having access to them. And specifically, that's the big social issues of the Republican side, and that's sexual education, uh, Planned Parenthood, protection over abstinence, abortion, and stem cells. You know, I'm moderately, I'm very moderate on that, perhaps even a bit leftist. Well, that's because I see that as a medical issue. And other people see that as a social issue. And I disagree, really, because I see it as a part of medicine. It becomes a social issue when it involves, well, ideas, and I'm sorry, but I just can't accept abstinence. And in the same sense, I don't accept modern views of open sexuality either. I question the progressive view of sexuality. I think it's pandering to a gender non-specific role, in its inclusion. You know, Kinsey's dead hand is at the wheel for sure. I don't buy it. You know what I mean? Now, yeah. Oh, they're gays. I so what? But I come to a few conclusions lately. Is that I've sort of seen myself more as a social libertarian, which means I want small government in social issues. And the social issues are basically race, gender, and orientation. Race, gender, and sexuality. I don't think government should be telling anyone what to do with race, gender, or sexuality, even if it includes protections, especially, you know. But that's a kind of a trade-off too, you know what I mean? You don't want friggin' collectivist state. And I guess that's a little different than nationalists, because a nationalist would want government control. I guess there's small government conservatism, and nationalism would be collectivist right-wing conservatism, I guess. I always thought conservatism was deregulation. You know, it was coupled with deregulation and a hands-off approach by the government. So, you know, that puts me in some weird places conservatively, too, because it's like, well, there goes anything I've got to say about freaking gay marriage and prostitution. Small government, I guess you really don't care about those things now, do you? Guess not. Wait, no, yes, fuck. What? What? Yeah, no, wait a minute. Fine. You know, but drugs, I'm sorry, you know, that's a health issue. You can put that on the progressive side, but you can put that right over with the medical thing, and I don't think substance abuse is freaking a thing that is in the best health of anyone. You know, and Jack Black and whoever else is freaking high or whatever can get all pissy and pissed off about it and say, well, it's my body and my responsibility. Yeah, well, you're not very responsible when you're freaking fucked up your fucking gourd. That kind of goes for tobacco and alcohol, too. Now, if you want to get a prescription medication, well, I think that's a matter of pharmacy reform and medicine, you know. And, you know, don't ask me what's in my medicine cabinet. I don't think there should be freaking doctor shopping either. I think there could be comprehensive medical, and that could include psychological and bridges between medical. You know, maybe this is what I equate is economic nationalism, is sort of speak moderate to conservative communitarian. In other words, I think things should make sense. You know, there should be friggin' aspects of friggin' parole system to be funded enough to hand off to the welfare system, to hand off to friggin' unemployment, to hand off to friggin' mental health, to hand off to SSI, to hand off to the justice system, and it should all be interrelated. Not to be inclusive and abusive, but to be comprehensive and good for the person and representative. You know, we should have actually more input in these things, even if there is a conflictory dynamic. Whatever. In other words, different people with different views could freaking have different say. You know, it's kind of irritating when you walk up to a courthouse to pay a ticket and freaking it's paved like a goddamn freaking Greek mansion or Roman freaking Palladium or something, you know. You know, oh, how much did I pay for that fish bowl? You cocksucking. Oh, anyway. Well, I'm running out of time. You know, so if it's not nationalism, what? Because, you know, yes, the immigrants. Oh my God, the immigrants. But how are you supposed to have a living wage without having freaking all your freaking jobs outsourcing and cheap freaking labor and skilled labor from freaking Dr. freaking farms or doctor places flood into your country and devalue your base of your citizenry. You know, explain to me that. I'd like to know. You know?